video for us. As you already guessed on the thumbnail, we are putting a bonnet scoop on my Holden Colorado bonnet. There, looks good as it is, but we are gonna using a fiberglass to mold this into one piece bonnet. So it's going to be a bit of cutting. So the purpose of this is I want to try to get a hot air in the engine bay, so there's a positive pressure in the engine bay, so the air goes in through the front and out on top of the bonnet, and yeah, also the bottom of the car. But this will reduce the engine bay temperature. ZL1 style, so I just like the looks of it. So here's what we got so far. Got the spray gun that's already got that from the last project. Sanding pads. I went and brought the masking tape. I went and watched it on YouTube. Pretty much the best option is to use a fiberglass filler, and I'm going to use a fiberglass repair kit just for the corner edging. Just mold it into one piece. Sanding block, filler, spreader, sanding pads. I've got 400 grit, sanding paper, edge primer, wax and grease remover, and yeah, today we're gonna paint a bonnet with Raptor coating. So we got this one is a tinnable Raptor. So we're gonna mix so I've got a gunmetal grey paint. Just gonna mix that with a hardener. So the reason I'm using the Raptor coating is as you can see, this bonnet been repainted before, so with the stone chip pretty much everywhere on the bonnet, I'm going to try and use Raptor and see if it's going to stop that paint chipping away. This is even we were using automotive paint mixed with hardener just to protect the bonnet, but as you can see, it just chipped out a big chunk, big rocks coming through, you know, driving corrugation and trucks coming past, that sort of stuff. So yeah, the first step is I'm going to pretty much sand down the whole bonnet, repaint, because we're going to repaint the whole bonnet anyway. So sand down the whole bonnet, worked out how I'm going to mount this scoop onto the bonnet. As you can see, there's a bit of gap here, and yeah, but it's pretty good at the front there, so I might have to put a bit of cut down the side here and then bend it down a bit, so probably one here, one here. So but the bonnet is pretty spot on with the lengthwise, like at the front here to the curb, and now the back is pretty much flush with the back. So if I push it up a bit more, so yeah, see how it goes. Let's get sanding. Got the bonnet all sand down. It's pretty hard because we used a paint with a hardener, so that was that black paint. What I did was just sand it down, all the gloss, and where the pinstripe is, I just sand it down a bit further. I'm going to use a filler just to smoothen that up. Got a bit of ding on there, but the scoop going to cover that anyway. So, and I just found a couple of pinholes or pin dent on this side here, so I'm going to smooth that out with a filler. So yeah, so I went back to the bare metal here, so It's in similar spot, so yeah, try to get it perfect as much as possible. Now it is a point of no return, so I'm not gonna like what I do. This is what I do to my bonnet. Just cut out a big hole. So I was gonna cut out the outer skin, but the way you look at it through this hole here, you can still see the frame, the bonnet bracing through it, so it looks a bit, yeah, it looks a bit, you know, ugly when you look through it. You know, when someone come up and look through the thing, you can see the bracing. So what I've done is I cut it the whole lot out, and with this here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill that and I'm going to pop rivet that down. Same thing here on this side. Not going to worry about the front, just the back, so stop that from flapping when the wind come through, to stop that from doing that. So yeah, I reckon that's, well, it's reducing the weights of the bonnet as well, but we got getting rid of that strength. So, well, it's the point of no return now. So once that bonnet screw over the top, you're not going to see it unless you open the bonnet, which is I try to make it as neat as possible. All you're going to see is a big great hole there. Even thinking about getting those rubber edge protector on it, so yeah, it looked a bit nicer when you open the bonnet. Yeah, but yeah, I'm pretty happy so far. I haven't feel like that stuff up anywhere, so this, well, the first time doing anything like this, so yeah. Now we're going to put the bonnet scoop on, and we're going to screw it on. Once that's screwed down now, it's going to stay there, and we're going to lay fiberglass filler. And once we put the fiberglass filler on top to fill up the gaps, we're going to use a fiberglass sheet around it as well. So I'll probably, yeah, so give that a bit of strength. I'm going to sand it down, and I'm going to use a body filler to go around it, so make it look all one piece, well, like one bonnet. So yeah, so what I did is I cut a slit on both sides, so now it will just bend down. I should flushed up with the edge there when I screw it down. And what at the back here, cut out this section here, just create that gap so the air flows through that as well. So I'll screw down the scoop down. I'll put Sikaflex underneath on this side, screw the front down. It's not that much because I cut the slits, it's not much to pull down, so it's actually no weight on this screw, so it shouldn't pop up. Now I'm just gonna put in a fiberglass filler, lay a fiberglass over this hole, so I'm thinking overlap up to here sort of thing, and then blend it all in, get it look as neat as possible, because I'm not too worried about, you know, like sticking out, so I'm going to sand it flush anyway, so I might even come up to the edge with the fiberglass sheet, and then yeah, like, and I just sand it blend in with that curve. And yeah, I have to go have a nice curve on that edge there. Same thing here, I want to continue curve to the front of the bonnet. So it came out pretty good for a first timer. So I applied fiberglass filler, sand it down as much as I could. This is it's pretty thick stuff, so what I've been using, the sandpaper takes forever, so I would recommend probably use like 80 grit sandpaper. But I've been using like the grinder and the die grinder with the sanding wheel, so got it down as much as I could, and I apply the fiberglass sheet on top with the resin. So yeah, so I brought the one small repair kit to do this, so I ran out of it to do the front, so I'm gonna have to run down to the store and then grab some more. But I might do probably another one along here, along the side, just make it a bit stronger. Same thing with the front. The front can do, probably get away with one or two. Yeah, I'll probably do two with the front. Just cover these holes as well, and then yeah, just make it flush. And I'll do, yeah, like you see where I ran out of the fiberglass filler. Well, I was thinking I'm just gonna lay that over the fiberglass sheets, and then I'm going to use the body filler just to smooth it out. I have to redo all these anyway. There's all like heaps of holes. I think they must have used like an old mold or something. It just heaps of pinholes. I'm gonna go and smooth all that out so it come out pretty nice and flat when you paint it. So yeah. So I probably recommend do this in a ventilated or like a booth, paint booth or something, because when you sand all this down, you get pretty much dust everywhere. So yeah, I'll run down, grab some more stuff for this, and then yeah, we'll continue sanding after this dry. So it is the next day. I've just been pretty much just sanding and then bogging and then sanding and bogging in, just find little pinholes and then just fill it up with the fine filler. So at the moment, because I used a heavy filler before, it come up with all the pinholes. So yeah, I just use the fine filler, go around, level out all the holes, all the undercuts, that sort of stuff. They use the grinder, and yeah, I'll sand all this down and see how it goes. There's a couple of spots at the front here, and let's see what I've been using. I've been using this stuff from U-Pole, Dolphin 1K stopper. That's really fine, very fine filler, so good for like scratch and pinholes and that sort of stuff. So to apply that filler, you have to scrape most of it off for it to dry faster. And as you can see, some of it here, I put a bit too much on. So I put too much on. The outside is dried, but the inside is still wet. So the way this filler works, you don't need a hardener. So pretty much, you take it out, it get contact with oxygen in the air, and they start drying. So it's pretty good stuff. I just brought that from my mate Kevin. So I did come with a pretty much yesterday, last night, I ran out of filler. Ran out of the medium coarse filler. So pretty much I had to go down again downtown this morning just to pick some up. Pretty much they got one left in town, being living in, you know, remote town. So yeah, I'm happy with the way it came out now. So I'm just gonna keep sanding away. So I'm gonna do 80 grit down to 120 grit, and then final I'm going to use 400 grit, or the whole bonnet, primer, and then I'm going to use 800 grit, run over that before I do the painting. So yeah, it's really a long process. So I'm not really the sort of guy to have enough patience, so this is very, you know, struggle. So yeah, see how it goes. So I sand everything down. I gave it a coat of primer. So use the edge primer for the top. I primed the bare metal part. So it came out looking okay. So the thing with primer, as soon as you put primer on, it shows up all the pinhole on the fiberglass. So I just went ahead and used the fine filler, fill up all them pinholes. So yeah, it came out look alright. So I'm happy with it. And now I'm gonna go ahead and paint it with the Raptor liner. With the Raptor liner, it's pretty thick, so it should cover most of the imperfection. And then yeah, so not a professional. This is the first time I'm doing something like this, so came out pretty good. So pretty happy with it. So this finished product, I did 2 coats of close range spray, and the last coat I did the light coat over the top, so give that a bit of nicer texture on the top. But I did notice with the Raptor liner you have to mix really well. Like I was stirring for about 2 minutes, but it's still spraying out the white Raptor liner chunks. So like the little white Raptor liner that I haven't mixed in with the paint. So yeah, but overall, the end result, I'm very happy with it. So as I said, it's 2 coat of Raptor liner. Should be pretty good. Yeah, everything looks very uniform. So yeah. So the trick to spray the Raptor liner with the normal spray gun, I just got a cheap eBay one, is I use a 2.5mm nozzle, because I tried a 2mm nozzle before. Pretty much nothing came out. It doesn't seem that thick, but when you put it in the gun, it just doesn't want to come through the nozzle, so that's what restricting it. So I changed 2.5. It still seems like it's a bit too small. If you can get a 2.7 or a 3mm, that would be better. But overall, yeah, it come out pretty good. I use 40 psi there, 40 psi to get that light texture. So here's the finished products. I have added in a little final touch on here. So the LSA, just stopping this from vibrating when you're driving. Yeah, been a bit raining last night, so make the car look very tough. So should get rid of the heat through the engine bay. Seats underneath the bonnet. So yeah, it should go throughout the back there, the heat. And for you guys that haven't seen the last video that I put up, fabricating the airbox for the Colorado 5" to 4". Go check them out. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you next time.